Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I put up anything at all, and certainly a long time since I've done any kind of what I constitute a review. So it seems that on my YouTube channel I seem to get the most hits when I review a Vauxhall. So here I am again in another Vauxhall, only this time it's a Vauxhall Corsa, and it just happens to be the electric version. Now I like an electric car, I think they're the future, and I think they're ultimately easier to drive, nicer to drive than petrol cars. So this is a 2021 Vauxhall Corsa E, and it's in elite trim, which means basically it's got all the bits on it. Now when these were new, they were an eye-watering £33,000 or something, and they obviously sold a few because there's quite a few on the road. They obviously didn't pay anywhere near that. You can get them for around about 10, 11 grand, which I think is a fair price for the car. Fucking hell, mate. So what do you get? Well, you get a single motor front wheel drive. I think it's got 156 horsepower or something like that. Loads of torque, much more than the petrol Corsas, and therefore instead of a wheezy old 1.2 or whatever the Vauxhall put in them, or a clunky old diesel, you get a nice smooth electric motor with loads of torque and plenty of power. Lots of trim, like I say. You've got heated steering wheel, heated seats, auto this, that, the other, satellite navigation. Got 3 settings for the drive: eco, which does stuff with the AC should you have it on, reduces the sort of power it uses by turning it on and off in a more efficient manner apparently. And you've got normal, which I'm driving in now, and then you've got sport, which sharpens up the throttle response and gives you a little bit more in the way of acceleration. 0 to 60 is, I think, round about 7.8 seconds or something like that. It's in hot hatch territory of a few years ago. Pretty good, really. It is quite punchy. It's got a good initial pull, which then sort of tapers out a bit, but it's got more than enough poke to for normal driving. The range in optimum conditions is about 180 something miles fully charged, and it has quite reasonably quick charging. So what do I like about it and what do I dislike about it? It's my usual format. I won't say too much about styling, because styling is completely subjective, of course. You either like a car or you don't, or you're not that bothered about it. I actually like this. I think it looks good. I like the current Vauxhalls. I have done for a long time. I quite like with the Corsa, this particular Corsa, is that it's a hatchback. What's considered a small hatchback these days. When you look at it from the front at a sort of oblique angle, it looks like it's got a little boot, which is a nice bit of styling, I think, a nice bit of design. It doesn't just sort of stop like a lot of little hatchbacks do. I like the seats, they're nice and comfy. Vauxhall seats, I think, for the last 15 years have generally been very good. Certainly the Insignia seats and the Insignias I've had have been excellent, and this is no different. I like the interior. Again, it's standard Vauxhall fare. It's well put together. Yes, there's the old scratchy materials up here, which I have absolutely no objection to. If it's raining, and I want to get in and out the car, the top of the door will get wet. This does not stain. I had a Gen 3 Mini with its soft coverings on the door. Every time it got wet, it left watermarks, which were quite difficult to clean off. You had to use a cleaner to get them off. Doesn't happen with this stuff. Also, down here, scratchy as well. I've got no objection to that. My feet are out in all sorts of weather, in all the muck and the mud and the dust and the grime. And when I open the door, if you're in a car park, you can't open the doors fully. So your feet brush the door. Again, all soft materials, I've had them fur up and abrade themselves away. Not with this stuff. You can polish that up, and in 15 years' time it will look no better or no worse than it looks now. I'm all for hard materials on the doors. Likewise in the boot. Put those hard materials in the boot as well. Now it's a punchy little motor. There we go, a little bit of wheel spin in the gravel there, and we're out. We'll just take it up. There we go. Easily to 60 in hardly much time at all. And it would have actually gone quicker had I floored it completely out of that junction, which obviously I didn't do. This car has a heat pump, I believe. I like that feature very much so. Gives you a little bit of extra efficiency. I like the steering wheel. It's a decent size. It's not too fat. In fact, it reminds me very much of the steering wheel I had in my Porsche Boxster, which was quite large, like this one, and not too fat. So quite a nice steering wheel. The brakes, I must say, these are some powerful brakes, and you do not have to put much pressure on them to get the brakes going. The travel on the pedal is minimal. The steering itself is nice. I can feel what's going on, which is a nice thing to have. This electric pickup is so nice in these little cars on these windy roads. You can just ease off a little bit when you want to see if the corner's clear, damp the brakes a little bit, exit's clear, punch it in. There is actually torque steer, which I'm not surprised really, because nearly 160 horsepower through the front wheels of a small car. Makes sense. There we go. ABS came on then, making way for this dude. So that all works. I like the equipment it comes with. I think if you get the Elite, which this is, the standard equipment is excellent. And whilst I like the interior, and whilst I'm a fan of the minimalist Tesla, big screen, does it all, I also think that this is possibly a good way of doing things, as Vauxhall have done here, which is pretty much exactly the same dashboard as any other Corsa, with a bit of difference in the functions available in the menu on this screen here. But if you're familiar with a Vauxhall Corsa or any other Vauxhall, or pretty much any other modern car, you'll soon feel at home with this. You've got buttons for the climate control, knobs to alter the temperature, you've got buttons for all of your functions, and on the steering wheel here you've got your buttons. You'll quickly get used to it. Yeah, this is an EV. There's no real acclimatization to it being an EV, other than, of course, there's no gears, there's no clutch, and there's far more oomph in this Corsa than there are in most of the others. What don't I like about it? There's a low speeds you can hear the electric motor. Just so you know that it's not a fuel car, but other than that, it's quite quiet. Well, that's just a minor point of view. Turn around here in this driveway. You've got a reversing camera, which is all good. And let me just pop it. This is sport. Okay, so let's see what it's like in sport. Whoa! Yeah, it's got a bit of a sharper response in sport. Definitely, the steering's weighted up. Oh yeah, you can feel it. It's actually really quite nice to drive in sport. Anyway, I was saying what I don't like. I like a full one-pedal driving in an electric vehicle, and this doesn't do that. It has B mode, and you just pull back on the drive selector to get into B mode now, and that will give you regen, but it won't give you complete stop. It will just crawl along at like half a mile an hour. You won't get your full stop. The regen's quite good, but you don't get your full stop, so you always get a little bit of creep. Some people may like that. Vauxhall obviously have a reason for doing that. They've decided that that's the way they wish their cars to drive. I would imagine it's probably the same with all the Stellantis group cars on which this is based. Avoid that pothole there. So you can do a sort of one pedal driving if you think ahead. Yeah, the mid-range punch in sport mode is definitely something that it gets. Maybe slightly sharper throttle, but it's definitely the mid-range punch that it's got. Just going to pull over whilst I switch modes back to normal. So, tell you what, we'll try eco mode. So I'm in eco mode now. Yeah, the throttle response is a little softer. Doesn't seem to have taken much power out of it. But the throttle is much softer. To be honest, if I had one of these, I'd probably drive it in this mode all the time. It's very relaxed. It's certainly not lacking pace. Anyway, getting back to my likes and dislikes. What else don't I like? It's very hard not to like anything, to be honest, because it's a really competent car. The way it drives is really nice. I'm just looking for minor things, really, and there's sort of more personal irritations that maybe I don't like, and other people will disagree with me. You don't have a traditional speedometer display. You've got a screen in front of you which has the speed and the speed limit of the road that it's recognised, and what mode you're in, and all that sort of stuff. And you've got your screen over here, which you can have your entertainment on. I have played the stereo in this car, and I think it's got 8 speakers or something like that in it. It certainly goes loud enough. The DAB radio works well enough. It sounds okay. There's Apple CarPlay, which I know is important to a lot of people. One of the things I don't like, which isn't directly related to the car, and is the My Vauxhall app. I mean, it is truly dreadful. This is a software-driven vehicle, like not only most modern cars, but certainly all EVs. They rely heavily on their software. And if you think of the sort of what you get with a Tesla and the integration with the app, the things that you can do on the car via the app, it's reliable and easy to use, and it actually adds value. Then you come down to the My Vauxhall app and what it can do with this car. Now, one of the things is that it's continually logging you out, and you have to log back in, which is, I don't know, they do it for security reasons. It's a pain in the arse, to be honest. Tesla don't do it. I log into my Tesla app, I don't log out to it. It just doesn't log me out. This app, logs the owner out all the time. Then when you do get in, it's very slow to communicate with the car, and what you can do with the car, you can preheat. It monitors your charge, and it'll allow you to do a set a charge time. But what you can't do is you can't set a charge limit, for instance. You can't set it to charge for a certain amount of time. You can't set it to charge to a certain amount of battery capacity. That's just really, really bad functionality. There's no other excuse for it. And my other gripe, based on the experience of this owner, and I do realise that Vauxhall dealers can be a mixed bunch, and it could just be the dealer network that the owner of this car has dealt with so far. But they are at great lengths to say that the car itself has far exceeded their expectations. They have no problems with the product that Vauxhall have built. They knew fully what it was and what it was capable of when they bought it, and were happy with its capabilities and its function and its performance. What they weren't expecting was the service they got from this particular branch of dealer. The ride in this is actually quite firm, as most AVs tend to be in my experience, presumably because of the additional weight of the battery. But it's a good ride overall, I think. It's not riding on particularly wide tyres, and it's not riding on particularly large wheels, so generally it's pretty good. In fact, it is a very pleasant car to drive. This is a car for people who want transport that is reliable, efficient, comfy, quiet, and nicely equipped, and it does that. Ticks every box. No problems with that at all. The view from the rear view mirror is excellent, which can't always be taken for granted these days. Yeah, these bends are quite tight, the road surface isn't brilliant, the road is quite narrow, and I'm driving along here at just below the legal limit, and it's really not giving me any cause for concern. I can feel the road. I've got the regen braking is working nicely. Just letting off slightly before the bends and then powering through with that lovely torquey motor. And of course I'm in eco mode as well. Door mirrors are good. AC is working nicely. That is nice. It's recognised the speed limit. What this hasn't got is adaptive cruise control. It has cruise control, but not the adaptive version. I don't know whether it was available in this model year or not. The other driving aids you have are the lane departure warning, which I think goes off at 40, the owner was saying. And you can turn it off, of course, if you don't like that sort of thing. You've got parking sensors, front and rear. You've got the reversing camera. So it's quite well equipped in that way, but it's something that I think some drivers may appreciate, that it hasn't really got any of the driver aids that they most likely haven't already experienced on cars of fuel cars that they've had, petrol cars they've had, diesel cars have these systems. Certainly other Vauxhalls I've had have all had these systems on. This hasn't got the systems that, say, Tesla has, which people hate so much. So again, if you're just after a modern car, well-equipped modern car, but you want an EV, and why wouldn't you? Then this is here. This is for you. What I will say, and I do like about this, and it's only something you experience when you get in and out, is the sound of the door shutting. It's absolutely fantastic. It's like the door shutting on a Rolls Royce or something. It's really, really reassuring. A nice heavy thunk as the door closes, which is really nice. Busy road as usual here, and we're in eco mode, remember, so we'll come out this junction. There we go. Absolutely no problems at all. The acceleration is sapped a little bit in eco mode, but we're quickly up to speed, and we're sitting at the legal limit now. Absolutely no problems at all. I didn't put my foot flat down. I probably had 3/4 of pedal travel there. And now we're on a nice sweeping A road. And the way it drives is absolutely lovely. Really good. You get a bit more impression of speed in this car than you do in something like my Model 3. I suppose that's because it's smaller. It does grip the road well. Body roll's not too bad. Very good indeed. Yeah, impressed. One thing I do like, this has, as it's the Elite, it has the matrix headlights, LED matrix headlights, and they actually go around corners and they dip automatically and alter the beam according to urban lighting and things like that. They're very clever. They're very clever, and they do work very well. I have driven this car at night and seen them work, and they do work very well. Now this is a particularly bad piece of road, possibly one of the worst pieces of road around here, and I'm now at the legal limit, and it's coping with it. You can probably see me getting pushed around, coping with it very easily. Brakes bring me down for this bend. This part here is atrocious. Oh, that's dreadful. Come on, York City Council, do something about that. Not only is it dreadful, it's dangerous. It's actually a dangerous piece of road. So I'm nearly coming to the end here, and I know I've done my usual sort of rambling, which is sort of, I'm trying to pass off as sort of meaningful consumer content. But it's really difficult to find anything very negative to say. If I was going to whip it around a handling course or do all the sort of acceleration figures and all the rest of it, yes, you could probably knock it back compared to some cars, but I don't think the majority of people drive cars like that. We drive them to work, to the shops, to pick up kids from school, to visit people, to take stuff to the dump. Most people are not really very interested in whether certain cars are faster, that much faster to 60. We take it as written now that all electric cars are faster than their petrol equivalents. There you go, the sensors. And put it in park, switch it off, we're done.